When you guys say something crazy, I just be like, fuck no.
Mamba Venom.
We can talk about Kobe next segment?
Yeah, we're talking about that segment. Talking about the East, right?
Oh, that's the third one.
We didn't even talk about MVP candidates.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was waiting for you to
we were
bring that
gonna
up.
talk about. I was waiting for that.
And then you kind of cut it off. I know we went over time. We talked about this too much.
So yo, let's talk about the MVP and then we'll.
I think
talk
this is
about the
important.
East.
So what we'll do is for now we'll go East and then we'll go MVP. East MVP and then we'll do we'll cut out final seasons for now and we'll end up doing Rookie of the Year with Kobe after.
Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah, why that's the third one though.
Okay.
Alright, that's fine.
You have to share a memory of what?
So like,
I think we
favorite
should all
Kobe
choose a Kobe moment.
We'll
that
do like
we
the third
talk about,
segment.
right? So we should actually figure that out.
Let me just think about a Kobe moment.
No, but that's the third segment. It's not now. So think about it after.
Took Brandy to prom.
What?
Remember that? Anyway, so
Brandy
we took Brandy
Oh,
to prom.
Brandy. Yeah, that's before my time. We're following basketball. All right, I'm gonna try and get some more shots in too of you guys. The ISO ones because we got a couple of the other ones. All right. So Indiana, Miami, who's third? Then Cleveland, and then who's below them?
What are you talking about?
Standings. Yeah.
It's Indiana's not first.
No, Miami,
Miami's
Indiana,
first.
Cleveland.
I think my Indiana's
Atlanta,
fourth.
I think. I want to say Atlanta.
Indiana's fourth. No.
Indiana's fourth, Atlanta's fifth. Charlotte's sixth, Raptors are seventh.
Go 1, 2, 3 right now. Miami, Indy.
Miami, Cleveland.
Oh, Miami,
Chicago.
Cleveland, Chicago,
Indiana.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Charlotte, Toronto.
And then Orlando.
Alright. So I'm trying to get some more. So let's do this. Alright. Yeah, I'm not doing the last.
Okay.
You killing time with time, yeah.
Alright, man. So you got a big gig. 64 gigs on that, right?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
All right.
64 gig.
Sorry, I think that's gone.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't work.
I went to go on my dog too.
It's professional.
Throw it on the or in the bag or something.
I feel like it can be a distraction.
Yeah. It adds some liveliness. Think of Ron beating it up in the stall.
What about the Mahmoud Abdul Rauf
Yeah, that
reference?
was, that caught us off guard.
That came out of nowhere.
Alright, let's go.
Oh,
Welcome. I'm gonna just say welcome.
Mahmoud, you should make a meme of your face when I said Mahmoud Abdul
Yeah,
Rauf.
it was like,
Ron would have been like, who the fuck is that? Anyway, let's go.
alright, we're not saying the Titanic division no more. The Eastern Conference
Sorry,
is
again. Okay. I have something on my face. I don't wipe it off.
no more Titanic division in the Eastern Conference, guys. The Eastern Conference is caught up to the West. At least we think it has, with teams like Indiana, who we were kind of uncertain about with all the moves that they made, and Miami rejuvenated this year. Also Cleveland, where we expect them. Chicago, kind of where we expect them. And then, of course, you have teams like Atlanta and the Raptors who are in it too. Who's the biggest surprise for you guys in the East this year?
I'm gonna say Charlotte. I know it's a little like, but like, I did not expect him to be there, especially with Michael Kidd Gilchrist going down.
Yeah.
Jefferson always hurt too.
And Jefferson, and just their track record, always being, bottom feeding team in the East, right? So for them being in sixth place, they are right now.
Yeah,
That's amazing, and just the way they're playing, they're just a different energy level. They're better defensively, and they're just balling. That Batum pickup was huge. For them.
It was.
Oh yeah, massive.
Huge.
Because especially the year he had last year, you didn't really expect him to rebound that way.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go a different route from Charlotte, and I'm actually gonna choose Indiana. Indiana are 4th seed now, but the way they're playing, Frank Vogel has them with the defensive mindset that they had before the Paul George injury. They've changed their team up completely. They've added Monte Ellis, who's always got a bad rap in his career about being a bit of a hog and taking too many shots.
Yeah.
Paul George, just a question mark around such a horrific injury on Team USA, and he's coming back and he's just balling.
He's balling.
He's playing at a level that's unbelievable, even better than what he was
Yeah,
before. And
both sides
before
of
he
the
was
ball.
an MVP candidate.
For sure.
And then you have a different front court. Like they got rid of some key guys on the team in terms of Hibbert and David West, who were kind of leading that front court for a while. But they have guys in there that, like Jordan Hill. They have guys.
Yeah,
that
they're
can
filling
rebound.
it with some not household names necessarily,
But
but guys
guys
that
that
know
play
their
guys
role.
that know the role
That's
and
the
can
most important part.
just play it, you know, to a certain degree. You know?
Rebounder, defender,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
they're asked to do.
And Don made a good point that Paul George is really thriving at the four
Yeah,
because he's just playing in a position where he can take guys on the dribble who are bigger than him and not as
Exactly.
quick, but at the same time he can post up guys if you want to put a smaller guy on. So it's
Reminiscent
very
of our
hard.
boy Carmelo Anthony. It seems.
Yeah, like he's just literally those forwards. They can't guard him. It's like they're at his mercy.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, he did not want to play that position at all. Like,
Yeah.
he was upset, and because the whole summer he was training to play the three, and then they told him, "Oh, we're gonna put you at the four,"
Mhm.
and he was upset. But I think he's loving it now. He's having the best career. I mean, stats wise.
Yeah. And the East is really caught up with the West. I mean, the Raptors have dropped 2 games with Denver and Golden State, and they've dropped from 3rd to 7th.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, the East is about their business this year. You can't even afford to lose games. Because if you look at the West, you know, the top 2 teams are Golden State at 21-0, like we talked about, and then we have San Antonio 17-4. The next best team, OKC, would be a 7th seed in the East.
Exactly.
So it's been years and years of the East kind of being the little brother that the West beats up on every year in the finals and throughout the entire season. But I think you're starting to see a lot of those younger guys develop, like teams
Yeah.
like Milwaukee,
Orlando.
teams like Orlando,
Orlando,
and
yeah.
Charlotte, like you talked about.
Yeah.
Like it's starting to balance
Starting
out.
to
You're starting to
balance
see
out.
things.
There's no. It seems like there's no easy games in the Eastern Conference. Right?
Yeah.
Like you said, there's teams
Yeah.
like Orlando, Milwaukee, even Washington. Obviously, they're not as strong as we thought they were going to be. But a lot of teams that are typically not strong teams that have put together some good drafts and players like Oladipo, like we saw yesterday, Alfred Payton, Hazonia, who hasn't played yet.
Yeah.
All these guys are coming up now. It's going to be nice to see them in a couple years when they're seasoned players.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
good they can be.
Except Philly, though, right?
Philly's the only one. Philly's just the only.
What are they
team
doing?
that's
I don't
just-
know.
No
I was
one
hoping
knows
you
what's
would know.
happening with them. Like they just stay. They don't grow. Like it must be really frustrating over there, man. I remember reading something. Pop was like, I couldn't last a week with them.
Yeah, like that
coach-
frustration. just
Yeah,
going
just
over.
like the way, just how frustrated you would be. It's
Yeah.
like kudos to Brett Brown, man. I don't know how he does it. You know?
And he's a good coach.
He
Like
is
you
a good
watch
coach.
him, and he's just playing the hand that he was dealt.
Yeah.
You have guys, obviously. I mean, we've all played ball before. If you're gonna go on a losing streak, never mind like an 0-18 losing streak, you're gonna be upset. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of the stuff that happened to Okafor is obviously unfortunate, but you have to figure like he's coming into a situation where he's a rookie and he's playing really well. Like on the court, he's playing awesome. He's doing everything. But when you don't have that leadership and you just have a whole bunch of fringe NBA
Yeah.
players, I mean, it's hard to develop.
It's not good for the psyche either. Like you think all these guys coming in knowing they're gonna lose essentially every
Exactly.
game they
Yeah.
play. There's
Every
no
game they
motivation.
play.
It's tough on the
No,
coach. It's tough on the
exactly.
players.
And then the bad habits start to form. They don't learn good
There's no
habits.
veteran leadership
There's no
either.
veteran
They don't even
leadership.
have a veteran who's
They don't have-
there.
Yeah, they don't have one veteran to do
Telling
it.
guys,
Tell
keep
these
your head
guys,
up.
keep their head up. Do this the right way. Continue working. Like don't do these type of things off the court that we're seeing now that's happening. They don't have that leadership, and like
And maybe that's the biggest
it can
problem
affect
too.
it can affect their growth going forward. Like let's just say
Look at Corey Joseph. He
exactly.
comes into a situation in San Antonio, goes, doesn't play any minutes, learns from guys like Tony Parker every day in practice, learns from Hall of Famers like Duncan, Ginobili, all these guys. I mean, it's not a coincidence he comes to Toronto and he
Exactly.
comes with a championship mentality,
Exactly.
right? Even if we look at Porzingis, he's coming into a situation where he's playing with Melo, a guy that he said he idolized growing up. I mean, it's a lot easier for him to make the transition to the
Exactly,
NBA.
right?
Even coming from a different country, playing with a guy like Melo, then a guy like Okafor, or even Wiggins when he came in, where it's kind of you're a deer in headlights. You're in the NBA, but you don't have that
But
leadership.
even you look
guy.
at Minnesota, who's similar to Philly in a rebuild, but at least they get guys like Garnett.
Garnett,
And-
Andre Miller,
yeah, and-
Keyshawn Prince, like
It
they
matters.
have veterans.
Yeah,
They
and-
have veteran guys there that can show these young guys, hey, do it this way. Even Kevin Martin, like they have guys who have proven themselves. There's nothing like that in Philly, and then things it can happen where like let's say Okafor becomes a star, and he's one of those stars that gives you headaches. Kind of like DeMarcus Cousins. Like star, but
No
like
guidance.
he's no guidance.
You
nothing.
take the good with the
You
bad.
know,
Right?
like Okafor can grow up to be one of those type of stars, and you don't want that, right?
And that's the thing. I think that it starts off. It's kind of like when you're younger and your mind's a sponge. And the same thing I think in the NBA. Once you've had that kind of losing mentality, and you have 5 coaches in 5 years, maybe like DeMarcus Cousins has,
Mhm.
you look at everything differently. I think than if you have some kind of leadership there and a coach that you respect.
And I think the Raptors have been in that same category for a while too. Like looking back, like outside of Vince, who came in the league, and we put a lot of veterans around him, like the Kevin Willis and the Charles Oakley, it really stunted your development as a rookie. But speaking of rookies, who do you guys have in the rookie of the year race? I mean, this is probably one of the best rookie classes we've seen in a
Maybe
while.
the best since the LeBron draft right there.
Yeah.
Maybe that Blake Griffin draft I know was really good too. That was 09. But I don't know. You have Porzingis. You have Towns who dropped 28. I think a couple nights ago. He's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. You talked about Okafor.
And like, I mean,
Moody looks like he'll be a good player. He's going to take some time.
Take some time to develop, but like, yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of wide. You can't really pinpoint on anyone. You just kind of let the season roll and see who it's gonna be. Like, there's just so many of them that are just playing so well.
You have a lot of star players. I think we have a few future All Stars there. We named a few right now, but this is obviously a great time for the NBA. I mean, New York have had so much bad luck over the year. Minnesota have had so much bad luck. Like, you look at both of those teams, like Porzingis for New York, Wiggins and Towns. These are untradeable guys. These are guys who are going to be the centerpiece of your organization. So you're going to see these teams definitely going to make strides in the next few years.
They're even thinking about trading. They're talking about trading Melo.
I don't know about that.
I think that trade talk's done now.
But they're talking about because like they want to build. They want to build from. They want to have Porzingis as their centerpiece, right? And just build around him. There's talks about, hey, why don't they just trade Melo right now?
He's got a few years.
He's still
and he looks good this year too. It's not like you think he took a step forward compared to previous seasons.
But if they trade him, they'll get like so many pieces. Like what happened? Remember when they traded him to New York?
Yeah, Gallinari, Wilson Chandler.
Denver was
Shuttle
like
Masai.
Yeah, and I think part of that is that they don't have their draft pick this year, so they're looking to try to rebuild around Porzingis by stocking up multiple draft picks or getting young talent. Yeah, it's like a catch-22. You can't really get rid of a guy like Melo when he has that leadership and he's been part of your organization for such a long time. Like, I think he should be part of that rebuild.
Yeah,
because he has a few years left.
If you want to make any kind of title run, you need like an MVP caliber kind of player. And although he might not be a top 3 guy, he's definitely a guy you want taking the last shot.
Definitely.
All right, we're gonna wrap up this segment. When we come back, we're gonna talk about Kobe Bryant, who's entering his last season. Ticket prices are through the roof, which we know about, and he's coming to Toronto soon. We'll share our favorite Kobe moment when we return on the block.
How long was that?
Not too bad. 10 or something again.
Alright,